Well, welcome to another episode of Let the Truth Be Told. My name is Sean Williams, and once again, I'm in the studio with my best friend, one of my good friends, Dwayne Burnett, a.k.a. Hub. I just got on him. Just got on him just a minute ago. I appreciate all you guys that tune into us every Sunday night and take a snippet and a look at Let the Truth Be Told. I really appreciate it. Everybody that come up to me throughout the week and say, man, I watch it every Sunday night. I appreciate it. I just had one of the good young guys that I've been knowing for a long time just called me on the phone before I got over here, me and Hub, and he was able to say, hey, I'm checking that program out Sunday night.
8 o'clock.
So 8 o'clock. Big shouts out to you, my main man, Shorty. I really appreciate it.
Shorty Mac.
I appreciate everybody on my Facebook Live, kind of put the message out that we were going to be taping the program. Yeah. And so hopefully you guys share this, and team in with us, chime in with us. Want to see some of your feedback. But I appreciate it. Jason, I thank you very much for being in the studio with us. Hub, I'm going to let you roll with a little something before we get started with the program.
Just excited to be here. It's a privilege to be on your show, and I look forward to it. We got a lot going on in the community, and a lot good and a lot bad, and we just got to continue to maintain the good and try to get some of this bad on the good side. And so I think this show is a microcosm about what's really going on, because we do tell the truth. Yeah. And so what a accurate name for the show, Let the Truth Be Told.
You know, Reverend West would say, shine a light on it.
Yes, sir.
You know, shine a light on it. Sometimes we need some things to shine a light on it, to elevate, to echo what's going on in the community. You know, we don't have our own newspapers. We don't have a lot of television and a lot of radio that's focusing in on what's going on within the community and how we can make our community better and be able to regurgitate some messages from our different silos that's going on throughout the community for us to be able to help our people, to make us better. And I think you know, each one teach one, and as I learn something, I pass the word on to other people to make them better. And I just think that's what God got us here for, is one helpmate to another to make us better. So, you know.
A lot of people run from the truth, and that's why I love being on your program, because we're going to let it ride.
Let the truth be told.
And we ain't trying to create no enemies, but, you know, it's stuff out there that need to be said, and some people just afraid to say it.
And you know, Hub, and we ain't saying that we better than anybody else.
No.
We ain't saying that we better than anybody else. You know, just God got us in a position where we took fear out of fear. That's right. We took fear away. That's right. And put ourselves out here to try to sit up and say what we can do to make things better. Yes, sir. You know, so a lot of people, you know, I know some guys in the hood that's great. I mean, got great messages, but they behind the scenes because they fearful. They don't want to jump out there because when you jump out there, people like to take pop shots at you, and they like to dissect you, and they like to say, who do you think you are?
That's right. Who do you think you are? What's the other one?
And what do you think you're doing?
Yeah, who do you think you are? We did a show a couple of times ago. Who do you think you are? And what do you think you're doing? You know, my colonel. I was in the Army in 2000. In 1999, 2000, and I had about 13 or 14 years in the Army when I opened up my clothing store. Because I'm saying, man, I'm going to do this 20 years and I'm out of here. Yeah. And so I didn't want letting people know, but, you know, I started doing really well. And one of the officers came by and bought a nice shirt for this military gathering. And when he told him that he bought that from Sergeant Burnett's shop, my colonel saw me Monday morning and said, what are you doing with a clothing store? I said, no, all due respect, sir, what are you doing with Lieutenant Colonel rank? Oh, I didn't mean it like that. Yes, you did. Yeah. Yes, you did. Yeah. But I got plans for after the military. And they start 6 years before I get finished. And so, that's
you know, people will put you in a box, and people can't see more for you because they can't see more for themselves. That's powerful. You know, and so and which one? Repeat that.
Say it one more time.
Yeah, people can't see more for you because they can't say more for themselves. You know, so they'll like to put you in the box. Right. You know, and when you're versatile, you know, you're able to be diverse.
Yeah. What do you mean you own a clothing store and you referee?
Yeah.
You know,
you're supposed
to do one thing.
You're supposed to be one way.
Yeah.
You know, you're supposed to be one way. Yeah. No, you ain't supposed to be one way. You know, you got to be able to flip the script.
You got to be able to flip the script. You know, real quick, the scripture come to my mind. It's Revelations about the 3rd chapter. And John the Revelator is on the island of Patmos. And God is speaking to him in a revelatory way. And he tells him about the past. He tells him about the present. But before he could tell him about the future, he told him to come up hither, because you can't see it from where you are.
Right.
And so we on ground right across from Lincoln Square. We could see around here. We could maybe even see 5 points. But if we was on top of the assembly hall, we could see the whole time.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to come up higher.
So you can see the bigger picture. You can see the forest for the one tree. And too many times we stuck with the one tree and we can't see the forest. Can't see the forest. And especially when you're in a position where you call yourself within leadership, you got to be able to go to the architect chamber.
Yes, sir.
You got to
Yes,
be able to go on the top of the highest building
Yes, sir.
or the highest level,
Yes, sir.
so that you can lead your people.
That's right.
If you leading and ain't nobody following,
You just taking a walk.
you just taking a walk. If you leading and you ain't got no dreams, no aspirations, no big picture. You know, I was listening to T.D. Jakes the other day, and he was talking about, man, you got to think big.
Big, that's right. I love that
You think
about
too
you.
small.
I love that
You
about
think
you.
too small.
I'm attracted to how big and how
gotta think
massive
big.
you
You
think.
gotta think
I'm talking about
big.
Sean Williams.
Yeah.
I'm attracted to how you
come
think.
on, man.
People try to put you in a little box.
Man.
You know, and you don't like me to talk about your house, so I ain't gonna talk about your house.
Because I mean, we just live in a reality world,
Yes,
man.
sir.
People
Yes,
don't
sir.
people don't see more for you because they
Yes.
can't see more for themselves.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's when they'll be happy for you
Yeah.
momentarily.
Yeah, momentarily. Yeah.
Then what it causes people to do, Brother Hub,
Right.
is have a man in the mirror moment, a woman in the mirror moment. So then they start thinking about themselves. Who do you think you are? And what do you think you're doing?
What do you think you're doing? Yeah.
Come on, man, you taking me too fast.
Yeah.
You're doing too much.
Right,
And those
right.
type of things. Man, let me tell you, life will pass you by.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Johnny Jones.
Yeah.
My best friend, Elder Larry Jones, brother, who was a good friend of mine
Mm-hmm.
too, but Larry was my best friend in school. And he passed on two nights ago.
R.I.P.
Yeah, and had a lot of influence on the community. Had a motorcycle, I think. The Cobras, he had a motorcycle group and just did a lot of community stuff. He was doing his thing, but he passed 2 nights ago. So let's keep his mom and his brothers and sisters
Yeah.
in prayer,
Yeah.
Johnny Law.
Yeah, and so when we go back to that hub, when you do a man in the mirror, you do a mirror check. Michael Jackson made a famous song off of it. Doing a man in the mirror check, and when you do a flashback on yourselves. And so I always say that's what church is all about. I mean, sit back in your space, don't care about the right, the left,
Right.
and just try to make yourself better.
Right.
And so. Going on to some of this community stuff that's going on, Brother Hub. We got a lot of stuff going on. I know I did a segment, and I think we touched on the last segment with the young men.
Yes, sir.
That's been going on.
Yes, sir.
That from Central Centennial, along with Sheldon,
Yeah, Sheldon.
along with
Turner.
we had a team of other people that was connected into this group that with the most at-risk young men from Central Centennial. I had the pleasure, me and my funeral director, of taking them to a funeral home tour. My brother Craig, along with Phil Harvey, took them on Hickory Street. I had them meet over there, talk about the violence through the community. I was able to show them where my small beginning started
Yes,
at,
sir.
in a one-bedroom on Hickory Street.
How could they tell when you was at home in the
Because
house?
Pete, my brother, my buddy, Petey Shaw, used to always crack jokes,
Right.
and he would say, "Your house is so small, I can tell when you at home because your feet hanging out the window." And so that was his joke. He would always, that was a crowd pleaser all the time. He would always say that joke. But it just lets you know that good things can start small.
Yes, sir.
You don't have
Yes,
to
sir.
start out at
Yes, sir.
in
Yes,
something
sir.
elaborate and
Yes, sir.
something big.
Yes, sir.
I heard somebody the other day talk about a young lady. She got a church, and before they knew it, they said her and her small church. And I listened to it a little bit again today because it was taped. And it's small. Well, don't worry about it. T.D. Jakes always say, when he had a small storefront. And you learn a lot in your small storefront.
Yes, yes,
You learn a lot with that raggedy car.
Yes, sir.
how to take care of that nice
Yes,
car
sir.
God got for you.
The scripture said, "Little becomes much
There you
when
go.
you put it in the master's
There
hand."
you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
don't trip when you got small beginnings. You know,
Don't
despise small beginnings. And you know, and so
AOH coming out.
yeah, and so going back to my young men, you know, it was great experience. You know, taking them over there with Craig and letting Craig be able to just, you know, kind of give the man, heart to heart, feeling the man to man, you know, and when we started it out and trying to break the ice, you know, with the young men, you know, it's not a lot of us that get hugs as men.
Yes.
We don't give hugs to each other,
Yes,
you know,
sir.
and
Yes,
and
sir.
even us in our era, you know, we didn't get hugs. Our dads, our granddads, or whoever it was, they were hardworking men.
Yes.
You know, they maybe didn't have the time, or maybe they hadn't even got hugs.
Right.
They didn't know how that worked out.
Generational.
You know, so it was just something generational that was passed down. I think it's passed down to the young men now because a lot of men aren't in the households. And so the way I connected with these guys in the door was going up, giving them some love, you know, giving them a hug, what up, bro, you know, and that type of thing, letting them know this all right. Wherever you at, it's all right. And so we worked it from there. We developed a relationship, and Craig and them gave it to him really, really hard, really rough, and told them it's all about choices. And then we left there and we went to the coroner's office. Big shouts out to Dwayne Northrup.
Yes.
He rolled out the red carpet, him and his staff. They were able to tell the young men about, and educate them about the coroner's office, that system, about a lot about the increase in young African-American males and homicides and things of that nature that has increased, and how to deter some of that violence to happen in them and their lives, and what they need to do to protect themselves. We also went over to Reiner and Wyckoff Funeral Home. I chose that funeral home because it has a crematory on site and great staff over there. And those men and women, they helped us. And along with our funeral director, Vince Sims, let the young men understand how grief and mourning happens and how that affects families, and the increase in spice and these other alternate drugs that's out there that's killing young folk.
Right.
You know, and then we left there and we kind of went out to the house and we kind of marinated and dialogued with Shelton about our whole day. And what went on that whole day. So, and big shouts to those guys, man. I really appreciate them young men.
So
people
Craig,
showing up.
Mr. Sims,
Yes.
Sheldon Turner.
Yes.
Who else was involved?
Dwayne
Phil
Northrup,
Harvey.
Phil Harvey.
Dwayne Northrup.
The staff
Yeah.
over at Reiner and Wyckoff. You know, it was those were some intricate.
And see,
intricate
me
people
as a
involved that day.
basketball coach, while you was talking, I was just seeing how you put all these top players, major players in the community to make an all-star team for the good of these young African-American males who have been pointed out, for lack of a better word, that they might be headed towards some trouble. And so that's one of the reasons that I really, really respect you, because that ain't never been done before. That ain't never been done before, ever. You know, so you thinking out the box and coming up with solutions to how we can capture these kids, because there lies the problem. I ain't gonna say nobody, but very few people can captivate these guys.
Well, you know, Brother Hub, early on, after Keywan died and coming to these meetings, I quickly understood what was going on. I quickly understood that so many people get paid off the dysfunctions of our people. And so in order for me to address that and not be part of the problem, but part of the solution, because I could fall in that trap too, you know, because once nothing works, these guys end up at the funeral home. And I could just say ching ching like a lot of people say, but I don't feel as though that is where God want me to get my glory and God to get my money from, is just off of young folks dying, because most of the time families ain't prepared for a young person to die anyway. I'm not even prepared to see this, you know, and deal with this here.
Powerful.
And so I want these guys to grow up, you know, and grow up to be old and like we supposed to be, and raise a family and go off to college and have some successes in their life like I want to do as a young person. So if it wasn't for the older people that caught me, I could have probably been a young person putting a burden on my mama at an early age. You know, just being hard-headed and naughty, because we naughty by nature.
We naughty by nature.
We naughty by nature.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times, we know once we get up and we got our church hats on and our robes and we done did everything and we've been blessed to be living, then folks think we showed up like that.
Right.
Because we never let them know, hey, man, we was naughty by nature.
Right. So what's the topic? I mentioned you here in church.
You know,
this is a good segue.
So I'm gonna get to. I'm gonna get to the. Let's get to the topic.
Yeah, let's get there. Let's get to because this might be more than 1 week.
Let's get to the topic.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been on Jason 15 minutes and we ain't even mentioned it.
So let's get to the topic. You know, the topic of today's topic and the subject is what happens after the benediction. Okay, so I've been on vacation. I took a couple Sundays off from church. I took a few Sundays off from the radio program, and I kind of traveled. Me and my mom and my family went up to Detroit, visit my uncle up there on his 74th birthday. Oh man, my mom and them had a blast. You should have seen the picture. My uncle got an elaborate, restored 64 Chevy. It's a Illini orange with a blue top. I mean, he really laid it out. But to see them old folks, you know, the youngest 74, and him driving, and to see them looking like they're in Mississippi, Arkansas somewhere, you know, in today's age was a blessing.
I love the fact that you said my mama had a great time.
Yeah, my mama had a great time, you know, being around our brothers and sisters. And so then after that, you know, kind of cat back and then went back out of town, and then I went to St. Louis. And so I was listening to our radio program one morning, and I was listening to Sister Clara Bright. And Sister Clara Bright, she had a great Sunday school lesson, and the topic was what happens after the benediction. And it stuck with me my whole vacation. What happens after the benediction? And so as I thought about that, and I thought about the program with the young folks, you know, stuff that's going on in the funeral home business and all of these different things, you know, I thought about all that, and I'm like, okay, so we had 52 shootings. We had a community meeting here recently, and it was a Stop the Violence emergency meeting that we had because we had 52 shootings. So the city of Champaign, along with Tracy Parsons, Vasilia Clark, she facilitated it, and we had a lot of people from the community that was concerned show up. And one of the pastors there, he showed up, and another pastor was there, and he's part of a program. Both of these guys are part of non-for-profit organizations.
So they weren't just showing up in the auspices of a pastor.
They weren't just showing up in that role. They got multiple roles going on in the community, along with some other things.
And that's important. That's important.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
No, ain't nothing wrong with it, but it's important to point that out.
Yeah, let's point that out.
Yes.
They didn't come just concerned because of the commissioners and things of that nature. And so what was brought up is that not enough. It's 36 direct churches in this areas where this violence is happening. Where's the leadership? Where's the leaders at? Where's some of these other guys that's connected with some of these people that's at risk and blah 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 blah. And so I went to another meeting directly after that, and it was at Community Coalition. So one of the Caucasian ladies, older ladies, she showed up to meetings all the time, and so she regurgitated that within the Community Coalition meeting, which I thought was interesting because it didn't get off of her mind from that meeting. It stuck with her. You know, I'm showing up. I'm at every meeting.
Right, and I live maybe in West Champaign.
It's not happening in my neighborhood.
Right, but I got enough love for the community. I'm coming here for a meeting that's about the North End, really
JoJo,
most of
Tay-Tay.
Right,
it's about all these other people that I have no relationship with.
Right.
And so, but I'm concerned.
But I'm concerned.
I'm concerned.
Powerful.
I'm concerned.
Powerful.
You know, and she's probably a Christian.
Yes.
So as Christians, it breaks all racial lines.
Yes.
As a believer, it breaks all racial lines. Her concern is for the larger base of the community.
Yes.
She's a Champagnian or an Urbanian.
Yes, sir.
You know, and she cares about the whole community.
What the campus calls us.
You know,
the campus got a word.
Townies. You know,
townies.
She's a townie. You know what I'm saying? So she cares about the town. And so she want to know, you know, how can we stop this?
Right.
But, you know, everybody got to have the same concerns. You know, how do we stop the bleeding?
Right.
You know, and so she and a lot of us are concerned. And so she wants to know, where are these guys at? Where are these men and women at? You know, and so so that brings us back to the topic. What happens after the benediction?
What happens at benediction?
You know, we had 52 shootings.
He's a very popular guy.
Yeah. We had 52 shootings that's going on. And then it jumped up in such a dramatic way to like 58,
Right.
59 within a week.
Well-
Peoria had an increase in violence. Danville had a double homicide.
Yeah.
Not
Back
to
to
mention,
back.
not to mention
Yeah.
there was a double homicide after a triple shooting.
Right,
That was at the
right,
motorcycle
right,
club,
right,
and
right.
then somebody else got shot.
Right,
Decatur had some
Right,
shootings.
right.
Then we've been having shootings, and it crossed even not just African American,
Right.
but in the Caucasian communities,
On
rural
campus,
communities,
on campus.
on these rural communities. Then we had a shooting on campus. Then we had a police shooting on campus.
Right.
You know, where they had to shoot a guy.
Right.
You know, it's the fastest solved case in,
Right.
in the history of cases.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? Everything was resolved.
Well, they got to
within a
do
week.
that because
But-
they want these kids to
but
feel safe down here, coming from
what school
China.
about to start back?
Yeah,
I seen
yeah.
5 Lamborghinis yesterday
Yeah,
downtown.
yeah, that means school starting
Come on,
back.
man. I've seen
Yeah.
5 Lamborghinis.
Yeah.
Something going on.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
mean, they getting something out of this place
Yeah.
that we ain't getting.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you 5 Lamborghinis
Yeah.
showing up
Yeah.
downtown, you know, and so we need to find out what they see. See, sometimes people see value in what you don't see value in.
Let me share 2 things. First of all, I want to go back to when I went to that meeting with you where they had the pictures of people. What was that meeting? You know, they had pictures.
Oh, that was our fresh start meeting.
So right after the fresh start, talking about all that shooting, 2 days later they had 2 more shootings.
Right.
Right, and so that was kind of discouraging because I really enjoy you invite me to the fresh site, and I was like, okay, we got some hope here, and boom, right after that 2 more. But just real quick, because I know we already rolling. I was on campus, and it was graduation day, and I saw Asians and Arabs and Indians, all different nations, in line on the corner of Wright and Green to take picture with the alma mater, right? I mean, that line was 2 hours long, and the first thing I thought about is my kids, the LDA kids. You know, these people flying 21 hours in the air to come, of course, to graduation, but they want to take a picture with this little statue, and we got kids 5 minutes away that don't even know it exists.
Oh yeah, oh definitely.
And so it's a direct indictment on the community and the college that we don't come together and give these kids some exposure so maybe, just maybe, they think, man, maybe I can do this. Because a lot of the kids don't see college nowhere in their future.
So let's go right there. Let's pause and let's park right there. Let's park right there. What happens after the benediction?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
You
sir.
said we got one of the best universities on the face of this earth.
Top engineer
Okay.
in the nation.
On the
country.
face of this earth.
Yes.
A lot of folks, once they get employed out there, they think they the top
Right.
of whatever. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And so a lot of these people know where every one of these buildings at because some of these African American folk got keys to these buildings. Okay.
Yes, yes.
And so they're at the museums and
Right.
they're at the ice arenas and they're at all these different facilities.
Right.
Okay. So what happens after the benediction?
Right.
You know, when do we, as being employed over there, or know about the secrets
The secrets.
that's going on?
Yeah.
That we take a young person, or we take even our own people.
Oh, we taking our own kids. They going. The people that working there, they hooking up, they circle.
Okay.
They just ain't hooking up Pookie and Ray Ray now.
Okay.
But they kids know about it.
Okay,
Oh,
okay,
best believe they kids
okay,
know about it.
okay.
Because they kids can go there for free or a huge discount. So the people that know the secrets, they hooking up their kids.
You know what, Brother Hub? And I would kind of almost discount that, son, because we don't have a large amount of African American students over at the university like we used to. We used to have where they were migrated throughout the community. And even when I dealt with Darren Williams, Luther Head, Brian Cook, D. Brown, you know, Jerence Howard, and all them guys, we don't have a lot of them guys like that anymore. That's migrated throughout the community. If they're a hidden vessel within that campus community, and so to have them cross university and flood our churches and flood our community with what they've learned.
Yeah.
Now, what you're saying is that those people over there then brought their kids over
Yeah.
there. Then brought their kids.
Now they
over there
might
and
not
showed
even
them
go
that.
in there. They might go to
But I'm saying
SIU or EIU.
I was just finna say.
But they going.
But
They
I'm-
going because they
Yeah.
bring them there to see the vision.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is we need to extend outside our little circle.
but it's
After the benediction.
But after the benediction, you know, it's no gate that's put up on campus on Wright Street. You don't see a gate on Springfield. You know, they might put out a few messages about don't come over here and do this and don't come over there and do that.
Right.
But it ain't no gate up.
Right.
You know, you can ride down. You can ride down Kirby.
Right.
And you can see the Assembly Hall and all of those things.
Yes.
You know, I mean, football team was doing so terrible. They was giving away tickets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you can take somebody over there and give them that vision.
Yes.
And let them see 30, 40,000 people.
After the benediction.
Yeah, after the benediction.
Yeah, you ain't even got to do it during church.
No.
After the benediction.
After the benediction.
After you come in, sit down, shut up, pay up, get up, and get up. After all that.
Come on, man. Get these guys and these ladies something, some substance, so that come Monday morning, I have a dream.
Let me do a commercial real quick. I just finished a 1-month program. I was gonna go 6 weeks, but I really wanted to make sure that we did it with the spirit of excellence, and I had hired some teachers to come in, and they didn't really want to give up their whole summer. So we did a 1-month program every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, LDA Summer Academy at J.W. Ader School. Shout out to Miss Ramage, Mr. Green, the former principal, and the administration who allowed it to happen like that. I mean, and so, but oh my God, it was awesome. And but one thing that I've found out through working with kids is exposure. These kids need exposure.
Oh yeah.
So we went to the Shed Aquarium. We went for math, because we was concentrating on math, Spanish, and college prep. And so we went to the Shed Aquarium in Chicago. We went to they got a math thing with Discovery over in downtown Urbana where they had the Discover. And then we went on campus. We went to Skateland. We did something fun. But I wanted to give them exposure, you know. And I'm in talk with Rantoul High School right now. They haven't okayed it yet, but I want to follow my 8th graders to the high school. And then we're going to get more into college visits with the high schoolers, maybe the 8th grader, but for sure we want to take these high schoolers on college visits so they can see. We can put them on another campus.
See other young people.
Yes.
See other young people. See other young people from different areas,
yes.
from different regions of the United States that's doing some things.
Because if we let the truth be told, which is what your show is called, if we let the truth be told, the reason that we have been able to be diverse and we can start business and do this because Uncle Sam injected that in us.
Oh yeah.
You know, you were in Germany. You know. 5 or 6 different places in the state, and so ain't no way I can speak 5 different languages coming out of Dunbar Court. But the military helped us to get that exposure.
Yeah.
These cats ain't getting no exposure.
And taught us how to get over our fear.
Yes, sir.
The fear.
Yes, sir.
The fear of control.
Yes, sir.
You know, because everybody wants control.
Yes.
So everybody wants control of your life. They want control of you on a job. You know, and they put the fear on you.
Yes, sir.
If I decide I want to get out of this box,
yes, sir.
Then what's tomorrow gonna look like?
That's
and
right.
so they keep you stuck.
That's right.
You know, you stuck like Chuck is what we used to say.
That's right.
You know, and now you just a walking zombie.
That's right.
What my man Les Brown said, a lot of us die at the age of 21 but don't get buried till we 70. Because our dreams, our hopes, our aspirations then died at 21.
Yeah.
Because grandmama wasn't on nothing.
Yeah.
Granddaddy didn't really do too much.
Yeah.
Mama didn't do too much.
Yes,
Daddy
sir.
didn't too much.
Yes, sir.
You know, a lot of us didn't move up out the hood.
That's
You know what I'm
powerful.
saying?
That's
and
powerful.
so this is all I'm here to do. You know, and this is all I can ever be. But you know, the devil is a lie. You know, because when you connect it, you know, when you see, and what I say is that I don't get down so much on these ministers, and I do charge them to a higher charge.
Right.
But what I do, because a lot of these guys have said some amazing messages.
Yes.
Amazing anointing messages.
Yes.
You know, I mean, amazing messages to
sir.
hundreds and thousands and millions of people across this great nation, you know. And so what happens after the benediction? You know, I mean, because a lot of us stuck on ritual and ain't stuck on change.
Yes, sir.
You know, we going for attendance and we ain't
sir.
going for the reason
Yes, sir.
for changing.
Yes,
and
sir.
so we stuck on attendance.
Right.
We stuck on positions. We
Right.
stuck on all this other stuff
Right.
that
Right.
ain't gonna reduce the 52 shootings,
Right.
the 100 and some shootings in one weekend in Chicago.
Right. Jason.
You know,
Can you come over here, Jason?
So it kind of hurt us.
Watch this. Jordan Simmons, my cousin Jordan, he be doing demonstrations. Hold Sean's hand, okay, and hold my hand. And so Pepsi pays $2 million for a Super Bowl commercial. Now, can you imagine Pepsi paying $2 million for a Super Bowl commercial, and the only thing that's happened is they stuck in the huddle for 3 hours?
No, they're not going to do it.
They're not going to do it. They want to see a game, man. They want to see some passes, some runnings. And what Sean is saying, thank you, Jay. Clap it up for Jason. So what Sean is saying is we got to get out of the huddle. What happens after the huddle, man? I don't see no passes. I don't see no plays being ran.
I ain't seen no great people do some amazing things. I ain't seen some great people doing some amazing, catching a historical pass, So when you're saying that and you use that as an analogy, some guys that out the hood that's doing some positive, legal things. To be able to do some things to inspire.
Yes, sir.
And so I was so happy yesterday when I ran up on a young guy, man, at the gas station. And the young man just said, man, Sean, every time I see you, man, you inspire me, bro, to do more for me and my family, man. Make me work harder, man. Make me want to get up and do what I want to do. And so and I was so inspired this morning, even when I went and got my car cleaned up, and we was doing it, and a guy that worked down there, he brought his son in for the summer. You ain't finna lay around. I'm finna show you some stuff. And he was telling him, whatever job you on, make the best of it.
Make the best of it.
And he's telling the man, find a way to make it fun. He said, wherever, I don't care if you forklift drive or whatever it is, find a way to make your day fun. And so in this life, we got to find a way to have fun, make it serious, be able to grow, because a lot of times we stuck in the huddle and we stuck and then I went to Decatur. I've been to Decatur and I've been to Danville, man. And so a lot of times we get out on ourselves in Champaign. But man, you got to go to some of these other communities. You got to go to Detroit. You got to see the hood. Man, you'll be so thankful to get back to Champaign.
Yes, sir.
You got to see some of this impoverishment. You got to see some of this impoverishment that's going on, some of this nonsense that's going on, and everything you see, check cash and liquor store, title loan,
pawn shops,
blanking with churches everywhere, blanking in the hood. Why is that? I mean, unconsciously, we ought to ask, why is that? It's almost like listening to Donald Trump, every time he get up and he say something out of his mouth, then Sarah Sanders got to come back, clean it up. Then everybody else got to clean it up. And then he come back and he might try to clean it up, but then he mess it all up again. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at some time you gonna say, man, am I crazy? What am I seeing? What am I hearing?
That's the definition of insanity.
I mean, what am I seeing? What am I hearing?
That's the definition.
And we military guys. And when I look at this on a national and a foreign relations level, I'm like, come on, man. I'm so glad. We just talked about it yesterday. I'm so glad I ain't in the military this day and age.
I couldn't serve under Trump.
I mean, I just feel so sad.
I'd get out.
And I mean,
I couldn't serve
and even
under
as I look at a young person trying to make sense of all this nonsense. When I look at these young men trying to find their way, these young ladies trying to find their way with so many bad examples. I mean, we trying to get out of a geographical place. We trying to run from all this stuff, man. But man, it's so messy that you take mess wherever you go.
You can't bury your head in the sand.
I mean,
I can't imagine, because it's a whole different breed of kids. I coach basketball and I deal with kids, and so the kids now are totally different than they were when I was served.
The mama's different.
They don't
Grandmama's different.
They don't give
the granddaddy.
They don't give a hoop. So I'm trying to fathom in my mind, because I've been retired since 2006. So I've been retired 12 years. So I'm trying to fathom, how's these guys leading these new soldiers that's coming in? Because I know they off the chain, they carrying pistols. You know what I'm saying? They getting high.
You having stuff that's, if you follow newspapers like, I was in Fayetteville. So if you follow like the Fayetteville newspaper, and we had one of the reporters from here that transferred, and he's a reporter down there. So he's always Facebooking some stuff. And and if you see some of the stuff that soldiers are doing, now we wouldn't even thought about it as soldiers back in the day. It wouldn't even came to mind.
But it's a microcosm. I'm telling you right now, at least 50% of high school basketball players have at least tried marijuana if they ain't smoking it. And so,
it's higher than that.
And so the University of Illinois, probably 70% of them getting high. So what makes you think the soldiers in the Army ain't getting high? They getting high. And so I'm like, man, how's they even running the military? They can't be doing drug tests because they'll be done kicked everybody out.
No.
And then your what's the word they call attrition? Your attrition rate gonna be off the. I was just sitting there. How is the military operating now? Because I know they getting high. I know they drinking and driving. I know that all the stuff that we was taught not to do, they doing it now and don't care. They don't care.
You know, Brother Hub, you know, one of the things because we're not seeing enough, we're not seeing enough of visually of folks that really want to change.
Yes.
And that's what it come down to. It just individuals changing and being that living example, you know. So if you don't see enough of that, you don't see enough of that across. And it starts with, I got so frustrated that I had to bring it up on 1400 yesterday, you know, because I listened to it for 25 years, man.
Yes.
And I've been listening to Jim and them for a long time. But I got so frustrated with listening to all this stuff that's been going on.
God.
And just the angelic Christians and all these different, the Presbyterians or whatever the case might be.
Ones that
just all these people that support and that's all around the counties around. And I'm listening to them. But at the same time, a lot of these people are good people, you know, but we so stuck with this one way, We're not seeing what you said is go to the architect chamber and be able to see the bigger picture.
Yes, sir.
Because one thing about it, we all in America together.
That's right.
If we mess around and slip around and one of us wrong, and we do a Pearl Harbor happen, we all got to fight.
We all got to fight.
Now, what if one of us wrong? We don't got the time, and we don't have the time, and we don't have the to be able to put in position to make a mistake of that magnitude, to let somebody of a Hitler mindset to take over the world. And when we read this stuff and we apply it to our lives, it's a reality. We got to see that the devil here to kill, steal, and destroy. He don't care about Pookie, Ray. He don't care about Jason over in the rural community, and he don't care about anybody else in the foreign community.
Kill, steal, and destroy.
Because it's been happening across the world for generations after generations after generations. Now, the only thing we could do is be the person to say, hey, man, the bridge out. Don't go that way. The bridge out. You know, I listen to people say, man, you got to vote, you got to do this, you got to do that. You know, yeah, you got to do that at a political level. And we ain't doing enough of that. You know, and I've seen, like I told you, man, so many people get paid off our dysfunction. You know, I seen people, man, that got 100% in these larger mega ministries. 100% African American people within their churches, man. And they standing behind somebody that don't have 100% of the African American interests. Nobody that's supporting child care. Nobody supporting fair wages. Nobody supporting housing. You know, I just sat with a guy over there in Decatur, man, that had a stroke and he was working on the job good. But you know where he at today? Homeless, laying in the grass waiting on a lunch meal. And he said that he had to go to a program, and they didn't believe him because so many people didn't tore up the program for him. He didn't show them all his medical records. He had a stack this tall that he can barely read, but he had me looking through them. He said, man, how am I lying in all these? I can't write this. You know, but he homeless. And it wasn't just us laying in the grass. Devil here to kill, steal, and destroy. They have this to all races. You know, one day you can be up, the next day you can be down. A couple weeks ago, I gave DAP to Johnny Jones. We preparing for a service now for him. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
This family getting ready for a service. You know, so it's nothing promised to us. So we can't take nothing for granted.
You, as I hear you speak, the scripture pops in my head. I must work the work of him that sent me while it is day, because night cometh and no man can work.
No man.
And so I hear the passion in your voice, and time is of essence. Come
on, man.
And as we this gonna be a 2-week sermon. 2-week. It's got to be
Two-part,
because we haven't even got in.
Program.
We haven't even
What
got
happens
in
after the benediction?
Champagne the
I
benediction.
know.
And so, but with that in mind, I'm finna chunk a brick, and then I'm gonna get up off of it. We can talk about it later date. But Sean, what I found out, being back here for 10 years, and you say this, people get paid after dysfunction. And so me growing up, in I think when I first started going to Douglas Center, it was 69, 70. And you had the Bud Johnsons and Ralphs. But one thing that was, you could bet your butt that it was somebody that was from the community that was running Douglas Center. The
Nate.
whole time we grew up. Nate, Big Mike, Big Mike was just in my store, and we just talked about old times. And so, CU Day, you're going to be filming out there.
August 11th.
I won't even be there.
August 11th.
Because I've already purposed in my heart that I will not support another CU Day or nothing that happens at Douglas Center until they change the head. As you know, a few months ago, Jamil Jones and Joe Duluth hired a director. And she happened to be a Caucasian lady from West Champaign. My wife and another African American were both part of that. It started off 20, so they made it down to the final 4. The African American male been in Douglas, I think he's worked about 8 to 10 years. And then my wife works in Danville. She's a Cornell grad, Ivy League school, been in the youth business for 12 years. And they recruited her. They emailed her, hey, you need to apply. And so, but after further investigation, they already knew they were going to hire this lady. But I want to bring my wife on our show, and so you can, because it's one thing to hear from me, but what really put a bit distaste in our mouth is that they let all the finalists watch the other interviews. So they did all 4 interviews while all 4 of them in there. And wow, I don't even want to hate on nobody. But that's the worst decision. That's the worst decision they could have ever made, because we know who did what. And so as you go into Champagne and Benedict
and dropping the ball on that, I mean, I would have videotaped everybody interview. That way you can read it, you can watch it for yourself.
Well, here's
you know, I mean,
here's
you
the
know,
thing.
and so
let me say this, and then I'm gonna get up off of it. It's set up to fail when you have somebody that's not engaged in the community. It's almost like what you talked about doing the Keon. I used to follow you around, and they had you on the board to hire the police chief and all that. But one of the things that I learned from you is a lot of the police were coming in from rural areas and policing here.
We did national search.
Right, but then they don't go to our Walmart, or they don't go to our community schools. They go back home. And that's the same way that we feel.
I mean, because, and it's a couple things, a couple dynamics going on with that situation. It's my views, my opinion. Sean's opinion from dealing with a lot of community stuff and being on some of these committees. First of all, they've always had a meeting before the meeting.
Right.
It's always been like that.
Right.
It's a meeting before the meeting, you know. And whenever you're on one of these boards, the decision's already been made before we get to the meeting.
Right.
So they already, unfortunately, your wife was used as a pawn to make the pool look good, to make them look like they were, they had grabbed a whole bunch of professional people that meet the standards of the position.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
But unfortunately for the community. Okay, when we get to going over there and we get to talking about major issues that's affecting our community with our facility that we have a relationship with over the years, then we don't have an adequate director that can be empathetic to the stuff that's going on because you have no idea of what's been going on. So how can you come up with a solution about what's been going on when you don't have a dream or you don't have a pain that's going on with what's going on?
Right.
You got to have a dream and you got to have a pain. All them got to work together to be able to come bring me out the trap.
Right.
How you gonna bring somebody up out the trap and you ain't got the pain or you ain't got the dream? You just going by policy.
Right.
They tell you what to do. I do what they tell me. So you there. What we call that in church is called a hireling.
A hireling.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
It's
That's
called
what
a
the Bible
hireling.
calls it. I don't know if the church called it, but the Bible calls it. The Bible calls it.
It's called a hireling.
Yeah, and we have a lot of that going on.
And so when we done had a couple of them, and I'm a 100. This Sean, the views of Sean. I done seen a bunch of them in church. They playing the music. Just because they getting paid. And I just seen a big Facebook post about it, okay? And this my views and my opinions.
Right.
And it rubbed me the wrong way when I was a kid, when they first raised the first love offering for musicians. Because when I got that $20, I said, man, that don't seem right, man. I need to get paid from God, man. Because it's just an added blessing.
Yeah.
Because he gave me the gift of ear to hear and to be a part of that Holy Ghost sanctified service. So now that I practice and I done got pretty good and they let me play during one of the biggest services that's going on.
That's your pay.
Man, that was my pay. But you done cut my pay out.
Right.
Because now you done paid me a dub. No, man, let me get my blessing from God. Don't because you gonna if man gonna hit you, you gonna get shortchanged. But the guys don't understand that because they want that $125 a week.
That's right.
That they done added into their income.
That's right.
Man. If you let
therefore
man
their motive has been bought.
So it just like the pastor get prepared for a service. The musician should too. And so when he come with a certain spirit, man, they only giving me $125. And man, I ain't giving them all of what that man. They need to give me $225. This other church over in Decatur talking about $425. You know, so it be more you. It ain't God ain't nowhere in it. Instead of you come in because you excited. And you looking at either the happiness of the people that's in the congregation, or you looking at the pain that's in the people.
Yes, Lord.
And that's when God gonna work his best.
You speaking from a musician.
That's when God gonna work his best. And even as a pastor, I related pastoring to DJing. Because you got to be able to work your crowd. You got to be able to work your crowd. Man, my buddy Fetus in Danville, he can know how to work his crowd. What I look like putting on stanky leg and I got an old school crowd. Oh no, I need to pay some Tyrone Davis. I need to pay some BB King.
$2.
You know, I need to pay some BB King.
Right.
You know, what I look like got a church community and I go in there and I throw on some BB King. What? They will push me up out of there real quick. Come on, man. If I'm a pastor and I got this younger congregation that I can't connect with, then I done put everybody to sleep, man.
But let me ask you this, and so from the '60s to 2000 plus, I think Rasul was the first one to infiltrate, and I'm gonna use that word, infiltrate our community, and put on the disguise of being a brother that was Fort Douglas Center. I think Rasul was the first one. I think I might be wrong because I was in the military back and forth. But up until that time, we still had Caucasians running the Park District. But I ain't gonna say that these people don't understand. I'm just gonna say that the people in the past knew that we needed somebody that was in sync with the community. So what has changed?
Okay, so let me fill you in real fast. I know we coming to the end of our program. So
part two.
So let me fill you in right quick. Fill y'all in right quick. Man, tell somebody, listen to this. Okay, so when I was in the military and I was at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, so they asked somebody to step up, you know, and you got all kinds of perks when you stepped up, and they wanted me to step up to hold the God arm, to be the God arm bearer. And that's our flag for our particular, our squad, our God arm. And we went on rucksack march, and the platoon sergeant and the drill sergeant, they got lost. That was supposed to have been like a 10-mile rucksack march, but it turned into be like a 16-mile rucksack march. So about the 12th mile, I done got tired. Man, another one of the guys from the other platoon, he said, man, Williams, you tired? Man, I'm tired. Here, take the God on. I gave it away. gave the guidon away. So by the time we made it to where we were supposed to make it, and the drill sergeant seen me and seen somebody else holding our platoon guidon,
That was trouble.
he told me, front lean and rest position,
Move. In cadence.
While they was eating and everything,
Yeah.
I was still,
hey, wait,
man, my arms were so tired, man, and rough. And every time I dropped
Yes,
to
sir.
my stomach,
Yes,
he make
sir.
me get back up.
Yes, sir.
Because
Yes,
he
sir.
wanted me to learn
Yes,
that
sir.
was one of the most important things.
Yes, man.
Is the
you don't
guidon,
give away the
man.
guidon.
You don't give away the
Yeah,
guidon.
yeah.
See, what happened to the community is we gave away our blessing. We gave away away what we cherished the most. And that was Champaign Urbana Day, our history, our families, you know, our one day that we have, that we can bring folks together and things of that nature. But we've given away so much more than just Champaign Urbana Day. That's just one segment of it. We've given away the Urban League. We've given away our participation within the NAACP. We've given away our young people. We've given them away. We don't show up to, man, the only people that be over at trials and stuff like that, man, is normally the guy that's by itself. Whether if it's wrong or right. And even if somebody like a Brady Smith do something to one of our folks, we still don't care.
That's crazy.
And it's
that's
affecting
crazy.
all kinds of generations.
Yeah.
We still don't care. We go on to the next.
But do you think that, because I've been to a coalition meeting several times, and this kind of getting personal, so I'm going to leave it alone after this, because it's really getting personal, because you kicking some good lyrics. So we got the coalition, we got Julia Reese, we got all these people fighting to curb the gun violence, right, and do all this positive stuff on this side. Then on this side, we got the Park District putting somebody in office who is clueless to our community. You see what I'm saying? So on this side, you working for, maybe. And on this side, we hustling backwards because they can't relate with our people, right? They don't even have a clue about the bumper pools that used to be upstairs and the skating and all that. They don't have a clue about that. And so, you working is positive versus negative.
But these people right here on this side over here, your Tracy's, your Julia's, your all them, they got positions and they got and she got voters and she got all kinds of other things and she got so much on her plate.
Right.
She got her own family.
Right.
And so people got their own family. So they got their part right here.
Right.
But what happens after the benediction?
What happens after the benediction?
When we gonna step up?
Yeah.
When we gonna take back what the devil done took from us? When we gonna put our money where our mouth at?
Yes, sir.
When we gonna get back to our own black businesses?
Yes, sir.
To build up black businesses throughout our community to support our programs? When we gonna get with the sororities and fraternities back on campus that was tapped into our program, that used to train our youth, that used to have our Title V and Title VI after school programs? We so stuck on revivals and all this here when we need to first have a funeral and bury all this other stuff. Solve some of these other issues. Heal some of these people that's been hurt, man. It's people that got physical hurts, mental hurts. It's people that got hurts that went on, generational hurts and curses that we ain't addressed. But then we talking about heaven, man. Come on. Is we all gonna go or what?
That's so powerful.
You see what I'm saying? And it hurts me because I see it not just in this community. I see it around the state. I see it around the country. You know, as I travel. You know,
one thing that gives me hope is
thank God for being an architect chamber, man.
Sister Cunningham from Urbana. Jetty Rhodes is her grandma.
Okay.
I work with them a little bit.
Okay.
I wasn't able to attend, but I work with them. And go ahead. And I just want to say,
you know what? And I won't knock. We got some good people out there doing some great work.
No, I'm comparing.
So don't say that I'm saying everybody is not doing anything. Right. You know, a lot of stuff is transitional and being worked because a lot of this here non-for-profit money coming out the same pool. Let's say that too. Right. So we double working. Right. We, like you say, hustling backwards.
Hustling backwards.
Know, and so and then I want to address now. One thing,
let me say this before we go on.
Rasul, back on Rasul.
Yeah.
One thing about Rasul that Rasul knew because he wasn't from this community. He knew how to put somebody on his team. So what he did slide down to the barbershop, and every time that he had something going on, he made us aware and come on down and connect with me because he knew that he didn't know.
Right. Right.
A lot of these people ain't even gonna come connect because they know they don't know, but they really don't care.
And that's the issue. And I cannot support Joe DeLuth or Jamil Jones because I've came to the assessment that they can't be that naive.
You know, let
me finish. They can't be that naive. And so I have to come to the conclusion that they don't care about Douglas Center. They don't care about the fighting or what's going to happen up there. They don't care. They're going to put their people who they want in there, period, and they don't care about building relationships. And the other part of that is that really, and the reason I brung Jetty Rose up is because that's how we used to run Champaign-Urbana.
They got their own. They got their own program.
They got their own program.
They got their own program,
Before
but they got their own
Champagne Park District came in and commercialized
they putting it together themselves.
Yes.
You know,
and we're capable.
And they put it together themselves. And I'm not gonna say so. I'm not gonna say so bad because of the fact that it's Joe or Jamil. You know, them the guys that's in charge.
You responsible for everything that happens or fails to happen
on your watch. Okay, but what I will say is this. One thing good about, and I love the motorcycle group when me and Miel and them had Payne City, you know what I'm saying? And I liked it because, man, it's a pleasure when players meet. And when we all bring our stuff together, you got a trailer, you got a truck, you got a dirt bike, you got a four-wheeler.
And he got the cooler.
And when we put it all together, we was amazed at what we had.
Yeah.
We didn't need nobody else's stuff. We was amazed when we put all of our stuff together. One of the things I liked, what attracted me to Jericho, when I went to Jericho, and one of the things that they didn't see the value in, that I seen value in, was all the men that was at the front door. All these guys that I grew up and respected. All hard-working guys, concrete guys, electrician guys, all these different guys from all these different skilled jobs. They had a nucleus of resources. And a value that they didn't even see.
Anytime you can get some men together in the house of the Lord, you
man, come on, man. They just went the whole thing. It was leadership.
Yeah, it's leadership. Yes, sir.
And they would study looking for leadership, and then they even understand that it was right in the house.
It's in the house.
It's in the house already. It's in the house already. It's in the house already.
Looking for love in all the wrong places.
And you already got it. Man, that's what
you trying to fly Jakes in, and you got Johnson right here.
Come on, man. And that blew me out the water. Because of the fact that you got it right here.
Yes, sir.
All of what you asking God for, He didn't all, but you hoodwinked.
You hoodwinked, yes, sir.
You hoodwinked
yes,
because you got strong men standing right there at the door. And that's what attracted me there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, leadership was right there.
That's good.
Man, I thank the Lord for this program, man. It's funny how time flies when you're having fun. You know, and so I thank the Lord for all y'all. Hopefully we've been a help to you guys. You know, charge it to my head, not to my heart, man. Don't stop shopping because you didn't like what somebody said. You know, if the shoe fit, put it on, do better. That's what you do. Don't stop buying shirts from a man because you mad about something he said. If the shoe fit, put it on. If you can change, if it apply to you and you can change your life, make your life better so that people can see your good work and then glorify God. That's what we want, man. So I thank the Lord for you. Jason, big shouts out to you. We got the man taping today.
We got the main man.
We got the man taping.
Yes, sir.
Hub, I appreciate it, man. I sure appreciate it. Give me some dap. Hey, man, I appreciate everybody that jumped on Facebook, that got their own, everybody that's in our television audience. Man.
This is enough.
No, what I want to say before we get off here, we all can't do everything, but we all can do something. So let's do something. Show up for Champaign-Urbana Day. I'm going to miss my brother Hub out there. Hey, but we still going to get it in. And then we got something going on Champaign-Urbana Day night.
Afterwards, please support.
All right. Thank you.
This is another.
Thank you.
Come on,
for another episode of Let the Truth Be Told.
Peace.
Peace.
Thank y'all for supporting God.